The Buzz with Jess Lujan.
We're back with Bobby Sharingi and, of course, Jim Moylan from the Guam Chamber of Commerce. I'm sorry for interrupting your thought, but go for it, please.
Yeah. Just we were talking about incentives and how incentives drive industries.
Sure.
Let's go take us back to the 90s. Of course, I was probably still in high school at the time. But in any case, this was an era where we had a couple of major storms. So we had these national carriers, insurance carriers, who were paying out a number of claims and suddenly realized it's sort of a tough place to be. And they started bailing out on the island. Likewise, we had a number of medical insurance carriers.
They also knew, because every time a storm comes here, it just beats the hell out of us.
Beats the hell out of us.
And you have to rebuild all the time.
Exactly. And this is costing them millions. We also had a number of medical insurance companies, large carriers who were out here saying this was a tough area, they were losing money, there were issues. And so at the time, there was a concern. What do you do? Those who were staying obviously started looking at as Guam as a high-risk market and started raising their prices, their premiums. So back then, Speaker Joe San Agustin, along with Governor Carl Gutierrez, decided let's look into how we could create an insurance carrier industry here on Guam. Okay, how do we do this? Well, let's look at talking to the local general agents. You know, these are representatives saying, hey, if you invest monies and you guys become carriers versus just becoming GAs of these off-island companies. And basically by doing that, you hire people locally, you create new types of professions, actuarial work, specialists in certain areas, underwriting. And then at the same token, you invest here on Guam, we'll give you incentives. And by giving these incentives, what you're basically saying is, hey, listen, company A, B, and C, I'm not here to endorse any particular company, that, hey, listen, by giving you these incentives, we're asking you to stabilize costs. So suddenly the local insurance carriers are competitive enough to compete with these off-island carriers that are still here. And so having these incentives basically allows you to stabilize them. Keep in mind, these are entities that stay here. Those premium dollars are invested here on Guam.
You don't have a mother company that you send your money.
The mother company is right here. The mothership is right here.
That's right.
You have new jobs. You have community partners. Just off the top, I mean, think about the last time you saw a Take Care or a Select Care or a Net Care or a Stay Well banner out at a baseball game, a family picnic, an event, a community event. These are community partners. That's right. These are entities that are out here. And the beauty of it is they're staying here. When you start introducing bills of this nature, you're telling these guys, you're not important. And because you're supposedly by paper making all this money, we want you to suddenly tax you, that you're going to force these taxes off on the community, on their clients, and at the same token, you're taking away what the whole intent of this idea was.
It created an industry where it's not just one entity, but you guys now are competing against other entities, right? So you have to. It's good for me because I consumer. I can choose you. I can choose you. And choose you. But it betters your product all the time. And you have to deliver better services to me as well all the time.
You know, one of the things that hasn't been really noted in these entire discussions is the fact that the insurance industry, in actuality, is a great exporter as well. Look at all the insurance carriers on Guam and how they've yielded outwards or grown to the Micronesian area. Everyone has representation in the Republic of Palau, the CNMI, the Marshall Islands. Those are premium dollars that are coming right back to Guam. You know, we as an insurance carrier as well, we have business in these outer islands. And guess what? Those dollars are coming right back here on Guam. That's an export. That's an industry that was created by the government. And unfortunately, by the way this language of this legislation is being created, it's sort of trying to take it away.
No, and here's where you come back and say, hey, wait a minute, let's these guys are making too much money. They're looking at the bottom line, too much money. But in order to grow, to invest, to get to the next thing, because we don't know what's going to come up, and you guys have to, again, come up with something else to cover. We don't know, and you're going to be able to respond right away. Right away, because if you don't have it, you're going to be out of business.
That's right.
You're going to be out of business. So you always have to have money to invest. And being in America, a land of opportunity, is growing. Is a capitalistic world basically, right? And you want to grow. You want to grow. And I don't know when it became a sin to make money.
I thought profit was a positive word.
Well, I mean, you know, in our own lives, we want to make more money. How can I do better at my job so I can get a promotion and all this to make money? I mean, that's not one of the commandments that you make more money. You're a sinner. You know, and all that, you know, which part of the sin? Was it a venial sin, a mortal sin? What kind of sin? You know, like that. Since when? Since when? Yeah. But anyway, that being said, again, it's just really a regressive thing. You know, and I go back to this because on the 27th Guam legislature, I know the Democrats, they increased the GRT, okay? We fought hard to remove that. It kicked in for a little bit. We removed that. We were able to take the majority in the 28th Guam legislature and also 29th. We eventually lost it in 29th with the loss, of course, Senator Tony Onpinco, okay? And then Speaker Forbes at the time became ill. So we lost that actually mid-year of that. But as we did that because we showed the people how regressive increasing the GR tax is and the burden that this put on people. And this is no different. This is not the GRT, but this is when they say business privilege tax, they're saying business. I'm only doing this to you, but we also know that as businessmen, when your power, water, and everything goes up, your cost of operation goes up. It reflects on the services and the products that you sell because you pass it on to the consumer. You're not the only ones that. All businesses do. If you don't do that, you'll be out of business.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Be out of business.
Right.
Exactly.
And so it's again. And so if this person has a lot of money, they may not worry about it. But the middle class and the poor are the ones mostly affected.
Correct.
Gentlemen, am I wrong?
No, you're absolutely correct. You're absolutely. In fact, in the last year alone, I think we've seen a number of proposals that are already leading towards the impact of the cost of goods. The ports had a tariff increase sometime last year. The liquid fuel tax, that also went up. So these are just two factors alone that are going to impact the cost of goods. Now you have this right here. You have the mothership right here. So what's going to happen is if we allow, if the chamber or the business, the community in general allow such issues to go unnoticed, then the ones who are going to be paying for this will be the people of Guam. Yeah,
I mean, the old saying that says, "Watch your wallets when the legislature's in session." It's a classic, huh? Classic. I got to take a quick break. We'll be right back.